Tom Verducci, looking at the game like few do. Love having you with us. I was just on MLB.com and it said Colson Montgomery meet Utah Street. Utah meet Colson. And Robert showed the highlights. There are some monster home runs off his bat. What's behind it? Good morning.
Light tower power.
Yeah.
Good morning. It's a great player development story because if you go back to April of just last year, he was so bad in AAA. They sent him all the way down to rookie level Arizona Complex League, where they play games at 9 o'clock at night with nobody in the stands. Why? They need to retool his setup and approach at the plate. And I think they did a great thing by saying, go all the way down there where there's no pressure. You know, you don't have to worry about results. Nobody's looking at you, criticizing 0 for 4s. And what he did is he changed his setup to the plate to be more athletic. He's a guy who stands really tall in the box now. He's got elite bat speed. The leverage in his swing is just amazing. That's why his home runs are absolute bombs. When I think about comps to him, I thought about Matt Olson, but I'm going to surprise you with my comp. For an elite bat speed guy, I flipped it. We're going to go back now to last year in April. You see he's standing a little squatter. This is the guy I comped him to. Yeah, I flipped it around. Byron Buxton hitting from the left side. When you look at the bat speed and the way they approach the baseball, there's a lot of tilt in the swing. It's definitely pulse side oriented. So like Byron Buxton, I don't see him being a 300 hitter, but he's going to do so much damage because he can hit the ball air side, pulse side in the air so well and so far.
What a comp. I love when you comp guys to other guys, superstars, because I imagine them turning on the TV screen and going, okay, Byron Buxton, I can deal with that as the calendar turns to July. Back-to-back winning months for his Chicago White Sox. We had Bryan Baker on the show the other day. It's time for Konami eBaseball All-Star Ballot Watch. And the numbers for a guy, and Tom, you and I were just talking about this in the break, who was traded twice, are awesome. Another Kyle Snyder masterpiece in Tampa Bay and St. Petersburg, yes?
Exactly. How do they keep doing it? It was a trade last year in July. We probably missed it. July 10th last year, gets traded to Tampa Bay. He had what I call a secret weapon in hiding. His changeup was so good, he just wasn't throwing it enough. And what Kyle Snyder and the Rays do better than anybody else is having this stuff play up. Your changeup is good? You know what the answer is? Throw it more. He really didn't tweak anything in terms of how he throws it, but you see how the usage has gone up a lot. And there's very few people who can defeat hitters front to back by changing speeds the way that he can. Why? Look at this. This is guys who have elite velocity, 97 above. The greatest difference between their fastball and changeup, only Dylan Cease has a greater separation. That's what I mean by beating hitters back to front. Not so much side to side, but the way he can twin these two pitches. I'm going to show you consecutive pitches. That's 98 on the black, followed up by the changeup. You see the hitter, the barrel is gone by the ball gets there. You want to see it again? This is to a right-hander, arm side, fastball, tunneling in the same area with great movement, by the way. And you know what? He can reverse it, too. There's the changeup now to get the second strike. Now when you see 98, that's like 108, almost a 13-mile-an-hour difference. Guy's been traded twice, released once. I think he should go to the All-Star game. He has been indispensable for Tampa Bay.
It's so important for the Rays to have a changeup well pitched more. It seems so simple, just throw it more. Why is that so rare?
The Rays have figured something out, as they always do. We talked about the Marlins, the way they love to spin the baseball. There's no team in baseball that throws more changeups since we started tracking all pitches. I'm talking about ever, not just this year, than Tampa Bay. We talk a lot about spin in today's game, elite velocity. Tampa Bay Rays have figured something out with changeups. And you think about opponent's average, yeah, you can throw it this many times and still have the lowest batting average against. Of course, Nick Martinez is a big part of that. His changeup use has gone up this year. Bryan Baker, we just talked about him. They do a lot of things right there. You know, Kyle Snyder is as good as it gets, and they're getting more results this year with
power arm, swing and miss for Bryan Baker, and control as well. You always notice what guys make positive adjustments and the flip side as well. What's behind the numbers for Freddy Peralta this year?
Yeah, this is interesting to me because Freddy had a career year last year, and ERA this year is about 4.5. It's gone way up. They call him Fastball Freddy for a reason. He throws a lot of heaters, and he gets down the mound so far that he gets extra perceived velocity on that pitch. He's not getting that this year. I want to compare here 21, 25, and 26. You see he's gone away from the three-part delivery. That's fine. But I want you to see, back in 21, look how far down the mound he gets. He's not nearly getting as far down the mound as he did back then. So he's got less extension. He used to have elite extension more than 7 feet. That's not the case anymore. The arm angle is lower, And the other thing I noticed is when he finishes, you're going to see, we're going to look here at the extension, how far it's come down over the years. That's about average extension now when it used to be elite, and the arm angle keeps getting lower, the lowest of his career. I talked about the finish here. I want you to see when he finishes. You're going to see his head on the left, it could be much lower, and the back is going to be much flatter because he's farther down the mound. And look at his hand position. That's deceleration. Even that's higher. So he's more upright in delivering his four-seamer instead of driving further down the mound to home plate. I can't tell you why that's happening, but I can tell you that it is taking away from the effectiveness of his fastball. We talk about the radar gun readings. The most important thing is perceived velocity. What does it look like to the hitter? So even though it looks like he's down even a half a tick on real velocity, it's almost 1.5 miles less because he's down the mound less than he was before. I can't tell you why that's happening, Lauren, but if I were the Mets, I'd look into why the stride, why the extension is not where it was and where it should be.
I wonder what he thinks when he sees 2021 combined with 2026 and the difference between them, because we know what he is at his best. So interesting. Tom Verducci, thanks so much for the insight, as always.